Shalom, come in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Green Millstone, and to the hopeful light push his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled The Beginning of Wisdom, or The Relationship of Wisdom, right? So let's just go to the word wisdom real quick. Knowledge, learning, experience, and knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? Because experience, you have to go through things to experience it, right? You have to go through it to gain the experience, and through that you gain knowledge, right? And really, it's like a synergy, really, with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's like a synergy. What's the word I'm looking for? Synergy, or they're I guess synergistic. That's the word. But they all go hand in hand, right? But I'm going more into the relationship of wisdom. How does it start in the beginning? Wisdom crieth, Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets, right? And, you can see that referring to wisdom as a woman. So it says she uttered her voice in the streets, right? She crieth in the chief places of concourse and openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her word, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge, right? So the wisdom's talking. She's talking, okay? But the main thing is what it says, wisdom cried without, she uttered her voice in the streets. And you can say the ones that are uttering the voice in the streets with the wisdom is the hopeful elect, right? The men on the highways and byways, they're uttering the voice in the streets, talking to these simple ones, these 2/3, saying, how long can you love simplicity? Because they're in that simple state of mind right now. They're being sheep, wearing masks outside, walking out in fresh air, wearing masks. When first of all, right, any contagion, if you watch enough movies and you just know enough research, actually scientific research, and understand the human body, right? Any contagion is contagious, right? If it's contagious on the person, just talking about that alone, a mask is not going to stop the person from spreading the virus, because the so-called vaccine, or I should say a vaccine, so-called virus, it's on a level of nanoparticles, right? These masks only protect microparticles, and nano is smaller than micro, right? So even if you cough into your mask, and people might say, well, I cough into my mask, right? The saliva stayed in my mask. It doesn't matter, because a virus is on a nano particle level. So it's going right through the mask. It might appear that you stopped it, but you didn't stop shit. That's like saying I'm stopping dust. Oh, I have this cloth, I stopped all the dust. No, it's going to go through the small particles are going to go through the cloth, right? Unless it's woven on a nanoparticle level, right? And that's one avenue. Then you have the fact that, okay, let's say you have it. Let's say you have a contagion, right? We're not talking about the virus. It's any type of virus. And it's contagious. One, like I said, a mask is not going to stop it. And two, you also breathe through your skin. Your skin breathes. So you're breathing out the virus. If it actually truly is that contagious, you're breathing it out. That's why you see in these doctor movies and shows, right? You research it, all that stuff is true. They put these people that are very contagious in an airlocked room, right? So it doesn't spread, right? And then you have the doctors that are in there treating, or the doctors and the nurses treating that patient. They're wearing hazmat suits because your skin breathes. So just because if you have a mask over your face doesn't mean it's going to stop it from seeping into your skin, because your skin breathes, right? So like I said, back to what I was saying, simplicity, like you see people wearing masks outside. Well, it doesn't even make any sense. Unless you're saying you're sick, right? If you're sick and you don't want anyone to get it, then, I mean, that mask you're wearing is not going to do the case. Realistically, you know, if you want to be really safe, you should just be wearing a hazmat suit if you don't want to get it, because apparently they're claiming it's contagious. So you should be wearing a hazmat suit, and you should either wear a hazmat suit, or if you don't want to do that, stay in your house and don't leave. Everyone in your house has to move, leave. They have to get their own place, for a couple of days, whatever, how long, until you are clean. And I just wanted to go in that real quick, because people don't even understand like the human body. They don't understand viruses. They don't understand anything. So back to the wisdom, Ecclesiasticus 4, and we're starting at 11. But yes, to know what I just said, you have to be wise. To cause them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You have to do research. You have just common sense. But the majority of people on this planet don't have that. Right? Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. Right? So the ones that seek wisdom, she lays hold of them. She holds on to them. He that loveth her loveth life. Khan. And they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. Yeah. And those are the hopeful elect. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory. And wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. So wherever wisdom goes, the Lord will bless that person. Right? You should have constantly prayed. Every time you pray, ask for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because Most High will bless you. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, right? And those are the ones that are going to judge the nations, are the ones that are the elect, because we judging the nations in the kingdom. So the elect are the only ones that are going to give ear unto her. And he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. So you have to commit to wisdom, right? You have to commit to it. But now it's going to talk about what happens at first when you commit to wisdom. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him. So when you first get this wisdom, you're going to go through it. Like, she's going to try you to see if you're worthy. Right? Right. And however that happens, I guess it's different for every brother, but it's going to try you. And bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline. Right? Until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. Right? So then when she trusts you, then she'll try you by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and show him his secrets. And I can speak from my own experience. It was exactly like this. At first she tried wisdom. The wisdom tried me. Like, really tried me. The fear, the crooked ways, the dread, the torment. Yeah, I received all of it. But now, because I kept staying fast, I kept praying, I kept, doing my fast, praying unto help, Shai, asking for mercy, Now it's just a comfort, and things are being revealed, about your own life, about the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the Most High, the scriptures, even just everyday things. Someone's talking to you, you can see right through their BS, right? Maybe before you weren't able to do that, right? Because the wisdom, you have the wisdom, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, which is everything. Right. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and show him her secrets. But if he go wrong, she will forsake him, and give him over to his own ruin. Yeah, so if you go on the wrong path, the wisdom will basically set you up for a fall, right? Through your own sins. Observe the opportunity, and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. Right? So that's on that. But you can see, like, in the beginning, everyone coming to the truth. Yeah, the truth is sweet like honey in the mouth first, but then it gets your stomach, gets bitter. Right? But that's just the truth. And even talking about getting wisdom. Wisdom's totally different. You know, getting the wisdom is totally different than coming into the truth. There's levels. There's levels to everything in the truth. Right? Because the wisdom, it just said it's dread at first. Coming to the truth is sweet as honey at first. So there's two different things. Right? It's sweet as honey in your mouth and bitter in your stomach. Bitter as you swallow. So now we're going to go to Job 12 and 12. I read up to 16. I might jump here and there. Yeah, I know, just read it straight. So we're going to read from 12 to 16. Job 12 and 16. Job 12 and 12. But the ancient is wisdom, and the ancient is Yahweh, and in the length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Right? So with Yahweh, it's how you get your wisdom, how you get your strength, how you get the knowledge and understanding. Right? And we can only get that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and that strength through his son, Yahweh Shai. So yeah, because Yahweh Shai is the mediator. He's the door. He's the intercessor. Right? Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Right? So back to what in Ecclesiasticus, where it said, wisdom, if you forsake her, she will give you up to your own ruin, roughly paraphrasing. It's the same thing, because when that happens, you might say somebody's so wise because you went off the path, right? The straight path, the straight and narrow path, and you took a detour, and you told yourself, yo, this detour is okay, it's right, I'm doing the right thing, right? Blah, 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 right? You're basically going after your own understanding. Like the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, do not follow your own understanding, right? So the wisdom sees that and is going to give you up to your own ruin. So now you're being tricked, right? And just like here, it said, with him is strength and wisdom, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So you're being deceived, right? You're being deceived, and you might be deceived by a person. Like maybe someone will come and say, oh yeah, you're supposed to do this, or Yahweh Shai is a white man, or whatever the case may be, right? And you believe it, right? Now you both are in the hands of the Most High, because the one that's deceiving you is in the hands of the Most High, and the one that's being deceived, which is you, is in the hands of the Most High, right? And you'll give you up to your own ruin. So that's why you have to be very careful. You always have to back everything up with the scriptures, because that's the truth. If it's not in here, then it's not true. If you can't find any of it in here, it's not true. Right? Psalm 111 and 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So fearing the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. That's when you first start to become wise. And it's funny how it said the fear, right? And remember when I read in Ecclesiasticus, it said, actually, I think it said, let's see, where was it? Okay, right here, verse 17. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways and bring fear and dread upon him, right? And torment him with her discipline, right? Right here. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So it's going to be through fear, torment, dread. That's when you start to become wise, right? A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever, right? Yeah, and the ones that do his commandments, do all his commandments to the best of their ability, have the understanding, because they understand They just understand it, through experience. And that's where the understanding comes from, through experience. Like they understand, like, okay, I can't do this, I can't follow this law because X, Y, and Z, because we're in Esau's kingdom, but I can follow these laws, right? So that comes through understanding, right? But like I said, as we read it right here, it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So right here, the same thing, the Most High will try you, right? And torment, like, for at first she will walk with him by crooked ways and bring fear and dread upon him. So he will bring fear and dread upon you to see if you're worthy of this wisdom, right? Worthy to even start the process of being one of the hopeful elect. I'm not even talking about being it, like it's just even starting the process, right? After time, if you keep steady, you stay steady with your progress and your learning and your praying and your fasting and asking for mercy, then eventually, like it says right here, until she trusts his soul, eventually the wisdom will trust your soul, right? And try him by her laws. So we have one more. Proverbs 3:13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. And yeah, I can say for myself, I'm definitely happy when I gain understanding in something. When I find wisdom and I gain understanding. And also knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All three of them. I'm very happy because now I have more clarity. I can see more, right? There's less of that fog in your brain. There's less of those clouds. There's less of that mist. Now it's just clear vision, clear understanding, clear knowledge, clear wisdom, right? Which just increases your faith because it's through Yahweh Shem Yoshai that you got that, right? So which just makes you stronger spiritually, right? But that's it on that. There's nothing much more to say here. I just wanted to talk about that. That's a very important thing to understand. That at first, it's gonna be rough at first, and just like with anything, even working out. If you've worked out before you're lifting weights, at first, you see the guys in the gym that are in really good shape, but you don't know how it was in the beginning for them. It was hard in the beginning. Your body's sore, your muscles are sore. You're tired because your body's never gone through this before, right? But after time, your body starts to get used to it, and it starts to build its strength back. Its strength back up. Starts to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Then wants more challenges, right? It needs more endurance, more strength, more resistance, right? So with anything, it's always hard in the beginning. It's always hard in the beginning, but that's why discipline is a very important thing. You have to be disciplined to do it over and over and over and over again, and you will have to control your emotions because your emotions might stop you from doing something that's good for you just because it hurts. Just because you're going through pain, you might stop because oh, well, since it hurts, that means I should stop. No, that's not the truth. That's not true. If that was the case, a lot of athletes would not be the athletes they are today, right? A lot of these successful people in the world would not be who they are today if they stopped because of pain, right? Or fear, or any type of evil thing, right? Which evil just means bad. A bad time. But anyways, that's it on that. I'd like to close out by saying, Ka hala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the hopeful elect pushing his word and truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, Abad Babal, Shalom.